Yo, what's going on, guys? Celestial MW47 here, bringing you some Modern Warfare 3 survival gameplay on the map Resistance. And this is, I believe, my second survival match. This is the first match I did. I got lagged out. That's what you see right here. I just ranked up to private class 2, so yeah, and the first match I did was back when I was rank 1, and it actually lagged me and Toxic Devastation out of that one. So this is the second match we did, but this is like the first full match that we actually completed. So, um, this is basically just going to be our first impressions and a good strategy we found for the particular map, Resistance. And my first impressions is that I really like survival, and I think it's even better than Nazi Zombies was in Black Ops. But I'm doing this commentary with a friend of mine, Toxic Devastation, like normal. So what do you think?
Hey, what's going on? And yeah, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I mean, Nazi Zombies was extremely fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you can have 4 players. Survival, you can have 2. But after the second game, like after the map packs came out and like they put us on the moon, I mean, it just got a little ridiculous. It got overwhelming for me. So I like how it's a little change, something different, and a lot of different things you can do in survivor mode too, which you can upgrade guns, buy things, kill streaks, perks. I really like what they did with it. And that's just for me playing like a whole day straight, but we'll see what comes.
Yeah, yeah, I was playing it for a while too. Actually, at the time this match was recorded, like I was saying, this is my second survival match, and the first one I finished. But at the time of recording this commentary, I believe I'm already ranked 23. You know, I've played it a lot more, and I really like it so far. One of my favorite additions to it that wasn't in Nazi Zombies or just zombies in general is the kill streaks. It has perks similar to zombies, and it has the ability to like upgrade your guns. I guess because a pack a punch is probably similar to upgrading your guns by putting noob tubes on them and putting master keys and red dots and whatnot. So that's somewhat similar. But zombies never had anything that was like kill streaks, and in this, like you could never do anything close to getting a predator missile or anything or an airstrike, if you know what I mean. And there's a lot of other kill streaks too, like the riot shield squad. So yeah, what do you think about all that? And what's your favorite kill streaks and setups for it?
Yeah, I really enjoy the kill streaks too. I'm gonna have to say that the airstrike, I believe it's called, is my favorite kill streak so far. I did unlock the riot squad, which they are very good for like the smaller maps like Dome, but a map like Resistance, where we're pretty much sitting in this one house controlling the 2 ways. He's watching one way, I'm watching the other. I think that the airstrikes will help you much more because it's like I don't know how to explain it. It's like a smoke grenade. You throw it, and a huge like stealth bomber just takes out the whole area and the radius of where the smoke is. So if you can take out at least five, six, and you can take out at least 10 too. You gotta throw it at the right time though. But what do you think?
Yeah, and don't quote me on this, but I believe that the Predator missile and the airstrike are the same price, and
Yeah,
I think that I personally prefer the airstrike as well, because a problem with the Predator missile is that I don't think it has as big of a radius as the airstrike, and it's a little bit harder to deploy. Like the airstrike, I can just bam, pull out the marker and then throw it. As with the Predator missile, I have to open the suitcase and then guide it. So one, I can get out there a little bit faster, and don't quote me on this, but I believe they're the same price. So that's why I probably like the airstrike a little bit more.
yeah. And leave in the comments. Tell us what you think. We'd like to hear from you guys too. If you guys want to let us know what you guys like as far as kill streaks goes. What do you like to use? The airstrike, the predator, or the riot squad, or whatever. And yeah.
And the other thing is that really, I think this is probably the best or my favorite map out of the first set of survival maps, because I know there's 4 different sets of survival maps. There's set 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they get increasingly harder. But out of the first 4 that we played, I think this is probably my favorite because of the way it's set up. And as you can see later in the video, as it progresses, our strategy is going to be trying to stay in that middle building. That's what we found worked for us. Is we can each cover two different directions in here, and it helps a lot if you have sentry guns or something along those lines, because they can protect it much more efficiently. Because in the later rounds, when they're sending multiple juggernauts at you, it's going to be harder to protect, and
Yep.
the explosive dogs are much harder to defend against. But as you unlock higher, as you get better weapons and sentry guns and whatnot, and claymores, then it's really good to be able to just defend a house like you see us doing.
Yeah, and the thing about the sentry guns is that I don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure round 20 up, they when they sent when the Juggernaut round comes, they start sending extra enemies with them, just like regular enemies. So the sentry gun can take those guys out, and then you can just use your Scar, whatever you're using, to take out the Juggernaut. Because the Juggernauts, they have a extreme amount of health. And also, you can go and buy body armor, which kind of gives you Juggernaut in a way. I think it gives you 250 health added on to your starting out health or whatever you have. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm pretty sure it's not 100 though, because I've taken a lot of shots in this, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's something to figure out. But if you buy body armor, if you get a sentry gun, and I mean, it's pretty hard to get down in the early rounds, and going into the mid 20s, as you see, you're gonna see coming up.
Yeah. And so as far as weapons go for survival, I haven't unlocked that many yet, but I think my favorites are probably the M16 and the AK-47 and the M4, of course, because I probably like the M16 and the AK-47 the most, though probably the M16 the most, because I was noticing that it is really accurate, and it does a lot of damage. Like, I can kill almost every enemy in 1 to 2 bursts. So, and when you're trying to defend a position and you don't want to have to keep running in for ammo, it can be really ammo efficient. If you just max out the ammo you don't have to max out the ammo every round. You only have to max out once every 2 to 3 rounds, because it's more accurate and does more damage than most of the other guns.
Yeah, like especially the M16, you can put like a holographic or a red dot, which I'm pretty sure every gun you can put on. But what I like to do as far as guns go in Survivor, I like to pick up whatever the enemy is using. Like, I'm not sure what rounds they start dropping ACR 6.8s, but if you just pick that up, which is a pretty good gun, you can just walk over their bodies, so you'll never have to buy ammo, and you can just pick up their gun, and it'll just add on to your ammo count. And that's what I usually do in the beginning. I pick up the Model 1887, and I just use those, and I just use the ammo that they give me. I don't usually like to go to the gun shop unless I have to, if I have to buy ammo or have to buy something else from there. But I usually like to stay with whatever the enemies are spawning with. I usually like to pick that up, start off with my gun, and kill one, and then pick up theirs, and use that for the rest of the round or next waves or whatever.
And this is when the juggernauts start coming right here. I believe there's only one juggernaut this round, but we hadn't made it this high before, so we didn't really know what to expect. And I don't know, it's really unique. One of the other things I wanted to talk about is I think it takes a bit more skill than zombies, because when in zombies there's really only one main type of enemies, and that's the zombies. And I know some maps
Hmm.
have gas zombies and some other things, but really 90% of the time you're going to be fighting the regular enemies, and there's not that much stuff to toss it up. As in survival, there's a lot of different things. It's not as one dimensional. You have to watch out for juggernauts. You have to watch out for the attack dogs. You have to watch out for the enemies with suicide vests. You have to watch out for the dogs with suicide vests. It's there's so many different angles you can be shot from, and I think it takes a lot more skill, because you can't just train like you could in zombies, and you have to actually think a lot more smarter, or a lot smarter, to be able to succeed and be able to reach a high round.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, Mystic Slim and Celestial, but I kind of like playing Survivor because I like the fact that they have guns too shooting at us. Like, I don't know, I like that type of game mode where, like, oh yeah, we're trapped and we have to use our ammo, like kind of like the movie Black Hawk Down, if you guys ever seen that. They're trapped, their airplane crashes, and the helicopter crashes and they have a limited supply ammo and just waves of enemies just start running at them. It's kind of like that in a way.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good movie, by the way. But yeah, we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, that's another thing I like to do though. As far as this map's concerned, it's really, or as far as any survival map's concerned, we found the best way to play survival so far that I've found is just to stay in a building or like or any place that only has two entrances, or you want to try to minimize the way entrances so that you can cover it with two people. Or if I'm playing solo, because I did play a little bit of solo survival, I like to kind of do a different thing because staying in a building doesn't work as well in solo. So in solo you have to run around a bit more, but as far
Yeah.
as two-player goes, I like to just do exactly what you see us doing now, just covering both the entrances, so it makes it harder and harder for them to get in.
Yeah, and guys, use what they give you. They're there for a reason. Don't just use your gun and that's it. Buy kill streaks, buy perks. Do what you gotta do. Buy claymores, buy everything you need to buy. It'll help you. It'll help you drastically.
Yeah, and the other thing that helps a lot, I noticed, is flashbangs. I should have probably taken more effective use of flashbangs this game, because they, like, I believe you throw one, it pretty much makes a juggernaut enemy. It makes them useless for about 5 seconds. I don't even think they can shoot while they're flashed. So yeah, if you're in a tight situation, flashbangs can really help, and they're pretty cheap just to keep refilling them every round. So
I think they're
yeah.
only 1,000. Don't quote me on that though.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what I usually like to do. I usually like to just go around and use now when I play it, since I'm a bit more experienced from when I did this, I like to use my flashbangs a lot, and whenever I get in a bad situation, basically.
Yeah, and don't get us wrong. At the time of this video, this is like I think this is Celestial Divinity's second run on Survivor, and this is like my third or fourth. But Survivor, it's really different from zombies. I wouldn't even classify it in a zombie type of mode. I would just classify it as its own type of gameplay.
Yeah, it's a lot refreshing from zombies, and I think it's better personally, and it's unique, and it's really refreshing from what zombies gave us. So I really like this edition.
Yeah, and one thing that kind of disappointed me is that you can only have two players at the same time. But then again, I think if we did have four players, then it'll just make it way too hard. There'll be so much juggernauts. And since the game's only been out for a day, I don't know about you, Celestial Divinity, but I haven't figured out a pattern of the juggernauts. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, but in zombies, like on Kino, they came like every 6 rounds or whatever, 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 rounds. I don't know what the Juggernaut is. I don't know if they just come randomly. I don't know if there's a pattern to them. What do you know anything about that?
No, I don't really know either at this
They
time,
just
cause
come.
yeah, yeah, cause I've only at this time I'm like rank 20 or 25-ish, and I made it to about round
28.
yeah, I think we've made it to the highest we've made it to is about round 31. I believe that'll be in an upcoming video. We made it to round 31 on the map Dome.
Dome.
But yeah, but I don't know. I've never really picked up what rounds the Juggernauts come at and all, and I haven't really seen a certain rhythm that they do. But I'm sure there probably is a rhythm, and that as we get more experienced, we'll come to learn it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, the game's only been out for a day. There might be upcoming patches coming out fixing some of the lag issues that we did have some lag issues in Survivor. I mean, we were on. I'm pretty sure we were only going around 23, and we just got lagged out. So, and we did hop on some Spec Ops too, and it was lagging for me. Whoever's the host doesn't lag that bad, but whoever else is in the lobby is gonna lag pretty hard. Even if you had, even like me, because I have a pretty good internet. It's just that the Spec Ops servers and the servers for the game aren't as advanced as they will be within like a month or so from now. So expect some even higher rounds within a month because we'll be higher ranks and yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the other thing is that I wanted to talk about some things I didn't like about survival that you were just touching on, and yeah, probably my biggest dislike of survival is the lag issues, because whoever's the host, like I'm hosting this game right now from my viewpoint, that's why when you're watching the gameplay, it
Mhm.
really doesn't look like I'm hardly lagging at all, or I don't think I'm lagging at all, because I am the host, but when he's playing, or when I'm playing and he's hosting, so I'm the other player in the game, I lag for like 30 seconds straight, and then I'm good for 30 seconds, and then I lag for 30 seconds,
Yep,
and I'm good
it's
for.
just an on and off cycle of just lagging and being good.